Today we're going to look at another screen use prop from the TV show Grimm. And yeah, it's not a very exciting one, but it was very difficult for me to figure out what it actually is. Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. And no, it wasn't difficult to figure out that this is a tin, kind of like a cookie tin. It's weathered and old looking on the outside. It's brand new and shiny looking on the inside. On the top of it, it says W. Perry's Luffenkraut, imported from Germany, 16 ounces each, 40 pounds. The first thing I thought of, what is this thing, gold or lead? How are you going to get 40 pounds of anything in a tin this small? So here's what I think they did. I think they took a standard size tin that held cookies or candy or Lord knows what, and they put their fancy sticker on the top, their W. Perry's Luffenkraut sticker, and then bam, it was a prop on the TV show. I don't know how I ended up with this. I mean, I purchased a bunch of things off the TV show Grimm. This was an individual purchase. I just don't remember making it. This was not part of that lot of 7 or so items that I purchased from the TV show Grimm, because if you remember, we already worked our way through all of those. So this is essentially just an antique-y looking tin. This clearly came from Rosalie Calvert's Spice Shop. And for those of you keeping score, remember Rosalie is played by actress Bree Turner. So then the confusion started. What's Luffenkraut? And then how do you pronounce Luffeldkraut or Luffenkraut or Luffenkraut? Alright, I went down the rabbit hole for you so you don't have to. One search said it's some kind of something wort plant. The most recent search I did said it's called scurvy grass. Scurvy grass? That doesn't even sound good. Whose official name is Cochlearia officinalis. It's a flowering herb rich in vitamin C, historically used to prevent scurvy among sailors. That's why it's called scurvy grass. Not that you get scurvy if you're in the grass. And I saw a picture of it. It doesn't even look like grass. And just in case you try this yourself, if you do a search for Luffenkraut, it comes to these German pages. And I had a heck of a time doing a translation. My German is really rusty. I had several years of German in high school. That was a long time ago. I remember the basics. Wie geht's? Was ist los? Oh, diesen Hund ist los. And I can read German fairly well, but only understand, about a third of the words. With that said, Google Translate is my best friend when it comes to reading German. So we're going to look at this from two different directions. Number one, this is actually a real Luffenkraut, also known as scurvy grass, and then when I did a translation of Luffenkraut, it came up spoon herb or something like that. Really weird. And I might have read somewhere that's because the leaves on the scurvy grass are spoon-shaped. Either way, if this actually was a real tin that it came in, it says 16 ounces each, 40 pounds. That would mean this tin contained vials or smaller containers of probably ground up powdered scurvy grass. Because that's the only way you are going to fit 40 pounds in this tin. And in case you are doing the math, 16 ounces to a pound, 40 pounds in here. That means there was 40 little smaller containers, vials, globulates, or balls, or whatever in this tin. And that's if we believe this is an actual real Luffenkraut tin. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is just a distressed tin. They put this sticker on, and we have no proof at all of whether a tin this size could actually hold 40 pounds of ground up scurvy grass. But it doesn't matter. This was on a TV show. It was on a TV show I like. It's on the TV show Grimm. And it came from Rosalie Calvert's Spice Shop. We have several other items from Rosalie's Spice Shop. I want to say we've only identified one of the items for sure. Here's a picture of it. Bam, the teapot. But I'm going to have to rewatch Grimm and locate this item. And that's not really a monumental task. I mean, yeah, I got to start at the beginning and go all the way through and all the seasons, and I enjoy the show. But I have probably a dozen or so items that I have not yet identified, and I need to have them handy and then watch the show and point them out one by one. And since we are low tech around here, instead of doing a screen grab from the show, I just take a picture of the screen. Bam, here it is. Proof of life. Proof it was on the TV show. Yes, we have a COA, a certificate of authenticity saying, yes, this came from the TV show. Yes, it came from the production. Yes, it was seen on the show. But really, that's just words. Seeing is believing. Alright, what do you think? Have you seen the TV show Grimm? Yeah, I have, and I have a bunch of weird stuff that was on the TV show. Now, when you're watching the TV show, keep your eyes out for things you have seen in my videos on that show. Because number one, you got the bragging rights where you can go back to me and say, hey, I saw that thing that you couldn't find on the show. There is that. And then you have bragging rights to your friends. Hey, you see that right there? I know the dude who has that. And for some items, like the kitchen clock in Monroe's kitchen, I have that. The purple camisole that Adeline wore when she pretended to be Juliet and stole Nick's Grimm powers, I have that. That locket that Nick's mother, who's also a Grimm, the one that she has, which we see several times and very specifically in some scenes, such as when baby Diana is playing with it, I have that necklace and locket. Those items are fairly exciting, those items are fairly important to the TV show, easily identifiable, and cost a pretty penny. Unlike this, which is just some thing that might be on a shelf somewhere, this isn't very exciting. So if you see this, wow, you can tell me where it came from. And really, when you see that purple camisole fall on the floor when Adeline / Juliet takes it off, you don't need to tell me about that. You know, I already know. All right, leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.